Thanks again for joining me today. This is day 3 of the Killer Photoshop Techniques course, and up until now, we've done some pretty interesting stuff. We've got the light burst behind our text. We've got this burst kind of superimposed on top of it. Looks like it's shining through. And you know what? I might even want to intensify that. Let me show you how you can do that. With the light burst selected, hit Control J. And that'll duplicate that layer and just make it a little bit stronger. And then you can use that Control E trick to merge that back down, and actually you get a multiplied version of that light. So it just makes it a little bit more intense. Now what we're going to do is make this text kind of three-dimensional by making it look like it's standing there and it's creating a shadow, because definitely if there was this light shining from behind it, there would be some kind of shadow for us to see, right? So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to right-click on the text item itself. I'm going to go to Convert to Smart Object because I want this text to be editable so that what I do could be, I could go in there simply and change the word and it would change the shadow that's cast automatically. So now that it's a smart object, I'm going to do Control J. And we're going to make this, I'll double click on the words, and we'll just call this main text. And now the original, we're going to double click that. That's now going to become the shadow text. I'm going to do Control T to transform that, and then right click on it and flip it vertically. It is now upside down. And I will shift click and drag it down. And you want it to be right there at the bottom where it's just touching the letters. Okay, now, that's a shadow, but it looks a little odd, right? We have to make it kind of proportionate to the way the light is coming out of here. So with it still selected in the transform mode, I'm going to right-click and I'm going to go to Distort. Now, in Distort mode, I can grab these corner handles and I can put them anywhere I want. So I'm going to take this bottom left one. I'm going to drag it clear over here. And I'll take this right one. And what I want to kind of do is match up with the way the light is going. That way, it'll look a lot more realistic. You will have to grab the side handles as well, so that you can line everything up. And what you'll find is there's kind of a magic spot where everything seems to work from. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like. I'll hit Enter. And that looks pretty good. Might bump over some of those letters, but we don't have to worry about that right now. What we do want to do, though, is give a little bit of a fade to that, because it should really kind of fade out, be real strong up here and then fade out. So to do that, I'm going to add a mask to that layer. Then with my gradient tool here, I'm going to select the black to white. And I'm going to go to the bottom of my light beams here and click and drag kind of towards, basically straight up. And we want to make sure we have linear selected. And then we'll just click and drag up. And you can see the effect that we get there. It masks out as it gives the appearance of that text fading away, the shadow fading away. Now, I actually want to bump over, and really it depends on what font you use. how this is going to work out, if you have to do this or not. But I'm going to do Control T, and I'm going to right click and do warp, and we're just going to kind of click and drag and bump some of those letters over a little bit, just so they line up a little bit better. And let's redo that gradient. There we go. And then, of course, if you want, you could fade the opacity a little bit. But with something as strong as that light, really it should be pretty dark on the bottom anyway. So I don't know how much fading I would do, but you can experiment with it. I kind of like the real strong black right at the bottom at the beginning anyways. Okay, now tomorrow I want to show you how you can add some color to this light and change that color. Basically, make it whatever you want, whatever would fit the composition that you're working on.